I did hear something very profound that is connected to my I don't want to say a spiritual journey, but I guess that's the word I can use. Remember that vision I told you about, where I said I have to go deeper and deeper, and discover the little eye, right? Then I heard something. Joseph Campbell actually said it in a lecture, but he was quoting someone else, and I don't remember who he was quoting. Let me get that real quick. Our highest God is our highest obstruction. The higher thoughts you have, go past that. Break through the folk God and into the elemental one. One was the quote he said, the other one was his continuation of the idea. And that plays hand in hand with what we're doing here when I heard that. Our highest God, the highest we can understand God as an individual, is our highest obstruction. It was like, fucking A. Like, it fell right in line to this little journey that I've been on and kind of give me a little nod to say, keep going, boy. You're on the right trail of this. But in Indian myth, it's so crazy. It's like so many of these deities, like Kali, this dark element that's transcended above her god and is holding her creator's head in her hand, standing on the corpses. There's such deep symbolism in Indian myth, and obviously someone else will be like, yeah, no shit, when you're acquainted with it, but when you're like me, that's no one's fucking told me about this shit. I'm just like, this is astounding. Indian mythology, I'm like, it's so, I would say transcendental, but that's obvious. It's insane, the levels, and that's what I love about it, because that's how I see my mythology. Like, there's levels. It's not as simple here and there, and there's a road. Like, no, it's like there are fucking points of this, and each one leads you to the next based upon what you do inside of each realm. And sometimes you can go up and down, and I just love that. I love that concept, and as I'm hearing it in their mythology, I'm just like, gee, Rizzies, this is kind of what we need to really get into. But as a guy that's been, small town guy with a low IQ in the middle of the country of the United States, I don't know anything about this. People kind of either scoff at it, like we got a lot of these Latter-day Saint people that are like, that's all, end time shit. It's all like, if you look at their iconography, you see that that's all devil worship shit. And it's all I've ever heard about it was devil worship. That's it. Isn't that insane? Um, that's all I have around me. Like, I know the internet exists, and in theory, I can talk to anyone I want. But my mind still doesn't think like that. My mind doesn't go off on the internet and look into this shit. I'm still very localized in my thinking where I'm like, it's not here, so I'm not going to go there. So for me, this kind of stuff is very profound, very large, and I'm just kind of shocked by the depth of all this. And Indian mythology is very intimidating. Very intimidating. Like, there's too much to memorize right now. I'm already trying to memorize and work through my own mythology, and I'm memorizing, working with Greek mythology. I had to set Celtic mythology aside, and I'm like, well, what about this one? It's like, oh fuck, we'll put that over here too. It's it's in the bank. We'll cash that check at some point. That's kind of how it feels. I got so much stuff to work with here. My main mythology is my own. That's the important one. These ones are great, but it's about creating your own new mythology. The more I've been doing this, the more I've realized that I'm idolizing Joseph Campbell. Like, a man like that, I'm just like, what a what a fascinating individual. But he grew up different than I did. His family had money. So he was able to go and travel and meet these people and do these things, and where I didn't. He had a good enough education where he could get into school, and I didn't. So I'm kind of doing it the poor man's Joseph Campbell. Really, that's the best I can be. I'm not anywhere near that, but that's the best I can be. Sometimes in life, some people start a little bit higher on the starting line. They actually can hear the gun, and other people don't even know there was a race to begin with, and everything in between. You know, we're all on this spectrum of life. Some people don't realize how good they got it though, and that's something that a poor person like me, when I was growing up, for that's something I loathe to bring up because it's something that people need to hear how privileged they were. And I'm not talking about racial privilege here. I'm talking about financial privilege. A lot of people don't think. I mean, if both your parents were working, you lived in a house, and both your parents drove car, one or two. If you had stairs in your house, if you didn't live with black mold and starving and all that, like I don't want to hear it. Like that's how it was for me. So when anyone has any more than that, I'm like, well, go fuck yourself. Like you don't know what it's like. You've got a privileged life. You kind of got to jump a little higher in the starting line. I used to be very resentful about that stuff. I'd want to rub in people's faces, but I didn't. Like I wanted to bring it up, like what I just said. Like, oh yeah, really? Both your parents worked, huh? Well, better than me, or whatever. I never did. Just kept it to myself. Till now, till you fucking hear me saying it. But I can get caught on that quite a bit where I'm just kind of like, man, I really wish I had a better beginning. Higher education, like parents that pushed me to get into college because they knew I was gonna at the very least and try to get a degree. Like I just kind of I wish I had that. I didn't have a focus. I've always been what would you say? I don't know any word right now that says nomad of thought. One minute I was wanting to be in hockey, the next minute I was thinking about the military, and then the next minute I was like, well, maybe a cop or paramedic. None of those. And mind you, I'm like 19 now. It's like, I don't know what I want to be. I want to be this. I want to be that. And finally, at what? I'm 34 right now. Now I'm finally going like, you know what? I may have a speculation in what I should do. I envy people that have a focus and a drive and got themselves to where they are by hard work and determination. I don't know how you do that. Because sometimes when I feel like I have this hard work to get towards an object, I'm always like, yeah, I don't know if I really want this. Either I really am lazy and hate working, or I don't want this. I don't really know which one's which, so whatever, you know. And I've tried it with playing music. That's a big one that I explore my own life. I thought I was really wanting to be a musician, get into music, and then I didn't like playing shows. And then I don't like being in the studio around other people either, and but at the same time I want to do it alone, but I'm not smart enough to know how to do this stuff. I don't even know how to hook up the equipment and stuff. My own amp, I had to have other people do it because I was just like, I don't know what's going on. And it just made me think like maybe you don't want it if you're not willing to want to learn about these things. Or I hate practicing. I don't practice. If you hear any music on this channel from me, which I play quite a bit on the channel, that's all one take. Just I don't care if it's in tune or not, or I'm not here to, be. I don't care about that shit. That's just it takes too much time practicing and working on things and honing it. It kind of that's why I was like maybe I just don't want to be a musician. Maybe music to me is not where I stop. I look at it like it's just another extension of myself. Writing. I don't see myself as an author, nor do I want to be an author. I just want to write my story and play my music with it. And if someone can help me out, then I can have more things I want to do, like maybe show people what I'm picturing with animation. But we're not there yet. But I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how I behave. I don't want to be this one. Like I'm an author of fantasy, or sci-fi's or whatever fiction. I don't want that shit. I'm me. I'm just happen to be writing, kind of thing. So that's kind of what I mean when I say like I would look at other people and be envious that they have a drive. a singular focus. I'm like, man, I don't know how you do that. I really don't know how you do that to yourself. Because if I did it, I'd be stifling the hell out of my psyche. I'd be fucking miserable. I like to explore, I like to move around, but in some sense it is stifling because I'll never make a bunch of money because I don't care about so much in this world, you know. Mostly making money. I don't really give a fuck about it. I just kind of make what I need. And so it's like I don't have a drive to get a big fancy job. Or like if you just do this now, then you can save up your money. And you can do like I don't want to. I don't care enough. Because in my mind, it's like I'm trying to memorize my mythology and other world mythologies. I don't have room in my head to think about KPI or to think about their structure of their business. Like I give a fuck, you know, or like just I don't care. That's how it always was for me. It's like, what job can I have that I don't have to think that much? Because I need my mind for important tasks, not make believe. How can we make more money? Money. That's all businesses are, huh? How can I milk that money? They're like on the table jacking off, like, oh, I'm gonna come 4 times, but I gotta come one more time. I gotta get that money. I'm owed it. That's how I look at people in business. That's the caricature that they become in my head. They're yucky people, you know. I get weirded out by that because being in a grocery store, I'm kind of dealing with stupid shit like that. And it just grosses me out how much people think I need to make money. I deserve money. I have a business. I'm providing a product. I deserve to get paid for it. I just find that such a strange mindset, such a strange, weird, alien thing with people. You know what I mean? Like businesses generally have forgotten what the fuck they're doing in the first place. They just think, oh, we're doing this, so let's make money doing it. They don't even remember what the fuck the point of it was. That's why you'll never hear a business that gives a fuck about you. They just care about the money in your fucking pocket. That's it. They've lost the plot. Our whole world has lost the plot. Seems like I'm going off the rails a little bit. Watch me bring it back. Guess what? That's what happens when we lose aspects of our past. When we've lost our rituals and true mythology. When we've lost elements that are we've looked at this life in such a strange fucking way. It's crazy. The fact that we don't have rituals, the fact that we're so afraid of pain and death, that now we look at it and scoff at it and think it's fucking weird backwards people shit. I'm talking those crazy rituals that certain tribes throughout history would do where like your fucking chieftain would go up there and cut his nose off and his ears off after 30, what would it be like, after a certain amount of moons and suns. I don't remember how many years that'd be, 8 years or 7 years. He'd dismember himself and kill himself in front of you because he was acting out ritualistic things that were coinciding with your mythology. And then that kept you in accord with your own nature, your own cultural nature. Now we look at that as crazy. And I'm not saying it isn't, but my point is like our society now is fucked up. We're so weird about shit and we scoff at our past because we're too busy trying to make corners softer. You know what I mean? What is a big thing in America? We watch football. And I'm always thinking, kick the fucking helmets off those motherfuckers and those shoulder pads. Let's watch it now. It's this pussy shit. It's so weird. It's so weird what we do as human beings. Like we're softening edges and we're making death more scary because we're separating so far from it. We're trying to make everything safe. And you go to work and you have all these protocols that, you know, you have to, like for me, I have to sit down and take these little faggot, I don't know if I can say that word nowadays. I have to take these little tests about like, how to properly use a ladder. Here's how you properly use a ladder. But you know what I'm saying? Like I watch a 20-minute video on how to use a ladder. Right? Like that kind of shit. We're in that world right now. That's insanity. That's mental illness. That's so weird. And people are so strange in the way they behave that Like we're a product of everything that's fallen away. And that's what I confront in just my little life. God knows what the hell else is out there. And that's what I mean. Like, we've lost so much that it's almost a fucking joke, you know? I'm a little surprised about it. Every fucking time. You know, like I'm expecting something like, wow, people are gonna be profound about this shit. You look at like our modern movies and the messages in them and the weird shit that goes on in there and agendas. They're making the Odyssey, I heard. And of course, like, well, we gotta have a multi-ethnic cast. Have to. It's like, is that really accurate to the story? Like, we don't care about that. We care about equality, equity. You know, like, are you kidding me? Like, that's called cultural appropriation. It's just the people you're doing it to are the people that people say are the worst ones doing it. Isn't that interesting? Very weird how that goes. Like, it's our world is so weird. The shit we get caught up on, and the games people fucking play. But I'm the crazy one, I guess. You know. There's no plot to this episode. I didn't even want to record this. It's like, I don't fucking do this. Because, man, sometimes I just, I can only say so many things. And every week, it's like, I challenge you, whoever you are watching, I challenge you to say, okay, I'm going to just spew. I'm going to make a kind of like, this is kind of like a essay, if you want to think, maybe not this specific episode. But generally, I have oral essays that I do. But they're all in the moment and they're not planned. So they can be kind of messy, but for the most part, I don't do terrible at it. And like I challenge people to do that. Like get on there, put your fucking camera on, record, and just like pick something and talk about it and see how you can move through it and what you can uncover. At least for 40 minutes. I've had to bring the video, the views down. Views, what did I say like that? The view time down to kind of give my mind some rest. Because man, just balancing doing my work, then I have that other channel. We only try to make it do one episode every 2 weeks would be nice for me. And then this shit, whatever the fuck this is. It's crazy. It's so crazy. The whole reason this channel exists is for my mythology, but half the time people want to hear me bitch about my job or the world. That's all people want to fucking hear. But not solve anything. I sometimes would make an episode where I try to reach out and say, how do you feel about that? Like the last episode, tell me what you think. Crickets, you know? It's okay though. I mean, sometimes it's scary to put your voice out there. I understand. Trust me, man. Every fucking time I hit send on a video, I'm like, oh, I really hope I don't have to defend myself, And so far I haven't. But one of these days someone's gonna come along, hear what they want to hear when they want to hear it, and say, I'm gonna challenge you. And then you have to like, I don't do that. I'm like, whatever. That's what you believe. Fantastic. I've never been one for debates. I don't care that much. Like life doesn't mean that much to me if it means that much to you. You know what I'm saying? Like I would be the worst person to say we're gonna use this guy and we're gonna do what would you call that? A not an argument. What do people do when they argue in front of a camera? Whatever that's called. Like Jordan Peterson talks to this person, something like that. I couldn't do that because they'd spew something. And I'd be like, yeah, why not? You're very believable. I guess I'll believe you, They don't know I'm being sarcastic. But it's like, I couldn't do it. I don't know. I don't have that in me to like, I'm going to challenge your thoughts. And then we're going to argue. Like, that's what are we going to accomplish? Nothing. You're not changing your mind, and I'm not gonna fucking change mine, so we're chill. Whatever. I always thought that kind of strange. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Yeah, but I mean, if someone wants to do it, I'll try. But you're gonna find me going like, yeah, man, it sounds convincing. You sound right. Sounds legit. I'll believe you. I don't know. Anything else we can bitch about before we call the episode? Let's see how long it is already. Hey, it's 28 minutes. It's about around the time that we start calling it. What can I say besides I'm in my own way? A lot of the times, my mind seems to be the point in which I'm looking out of, or at least that's how I conceptualize it to make it easier for me. And as I do that, a lot of my obstacles are myself. Much like you, I imagine. There's a lot of imaginary people in your way that you think are real. I just proved a point by saying it for the past 20 plus minutes. Or whatever. And that's a perfect example of a lesson we can learn. I'm going to pretend like I did all this on purpose. You see how that is? All that was not real. Nobody was in my way whatsoever. No one wants me to debate. That's what it's called. Nobody wants me to have a debate. I'm making my videos for myself. So why do I give a fuck of what someone would think? No one answers the videos that I make because a lot of the times I'm sure the topics might be a little big or ethereal, or maybe people think I'm going to judge their opinions or something. I don't know. I'm not really sure what other people think. It is fascinating, though, what we do as human beings, how we view our worlds. But that doesn't make it real or not real. We are always moving and we are always learning. And I really hope soon I'll be able to uncover that which drowns me so, what seems to take me almost daily. Maybe we'll uncover that. For the longest time, I always thought I was a weak person. The weakest in the room. Because, from childhood to now, I always would watch people and say, man, what are you doing? And if so, why do you think that really matters? So I'd always turn that back on myself and say, man, I'm the stupid one. I'm the alien, or I'm the guy who doesn't get it in some way, shape, or form. I was like, it's all my fault. And I would try so hard to fit in. It's like when you go to school and you didn't do the assignment, you walk in the room, you sit down at the desk, and the teacher's like, okay, guys, let's get out that thing, whatever that we did. Make sure you get it out, remember? And then everyone seems to get something out, put on their desk, and you're sitting there going like, there was an assignment to do? It was my whole schooling. And then you look around and you're like, okay, so how come I didn't know about this? That was like my daily childhood, right? In school. And then come and tell me, we need to have a parent teacher meeting, because I have to go do these things called IEPs, and I don't remember what that stands for. Where they test me to see where I'm at, because it's a special ed thing. See what I'm good at, see where I'm struggling, all this and that. And I remember countless times having these fucking conversations like, how do you not know? We've been talking about this for a month. We've been talking about it for a month. You didn't know about this? I'm like, no. Did you write it in your planner? Let me see your planner. And there wouldn't be anything in it. Like, why didn't you write anything in your planner? And I'm like, I forgot to bring it most of the time. I don't know. I don't think to bring a planner with me. It's a weird concept to me. So I was constantly feeling that way. I saw that problem with my wife. She's like, you don't remember? We literally just talked about this. I'm like, I don't remember. I have no recollection of this conversation. You know, or Mike, the guy from the other channel, he'll be like, you didn't do that? I'm like, I forgot. I was too busy thinking about, you know, a cherry tree or something weird. And so, like, that's how life would feel. And so I'd always feel bad about, oh, it's all my fault. I'm a fuck up. Here I am, Mr. Special Ed, sitting with all the kids that have misshapen heads and speech impediments and mangled hands and cleft palates and mental disabilities and you name it. I would be sitting on the little, I'd be on the bus with all the special ed kids, and then there'd be it, I'll just say it. Fuck it. It puts a lot of perspective into where you're at in the world when you have to listen to two retarded guys have a fucking rap battle. You know what I mean? Just listening to I don't know what we're supposed to say nowadays. Sorry, mentally disabled people. Listening to those two going at it in a rap battle with their speech impediments and just and you're sitting there going like, I must belong here if I'm with these people. You know what I mean? So I'd feel bad about that. I'd be like, okay, well, I'm a fucking idiot. And growing up, I would get made fun of too for living in a trailer park. I've been called faggot a lot growing up as a kid because I liked dressing up. I liked wearing outfits. I loved being. I was a sailor. I had pen pals that were World War II veterans, and one was in the Navy, and he gave me his outfit. And I would wear that around, and I'd get fucking bullied for that. Faggot sailor is what they call me. And I was like, okay, I guess you can call me that. And I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. I was like, well, I don't. What do you want me to do? I don't even know what that means, right? Because I wasn't really in their world. When I grew up in the trailer park, these kids kind of turned to delinquents and got into rap music and drugs and doing stupid shit, drinking underage. You know, they did dumb things, and I wanted not part of that. So I was in my own little island with my two friends, and we were the weirdos because I literally made a stormtrooper outfit out of cardboard. I would have to find a way to make the helmet and out of cardboard. I have a picture of it somewhere, and I had the entire outfit. And I was actually a scout trooper from Star Wars. I'd run around the trailer park with that shit on and get made fun of. You know what I mean? Or just weird stuff like that. So I kind of always was a little bit of an outsider sense. I was always kind of a loner on that spectrum. And then when I went to school, I didn't have friends in school. I was by myself, so I would just kind of really try to find ways to stay in my mind and do things with my thoughts and try to occupy my mind, I guess. And probably in terms of doing that, they would say that they'd say he's off in La La Land. I remember that. I still don't know where this La La Land is, but like he's always in La La Land. He's never here and now. And he needs to focus. And I don't know what they might have talked with my parents, but I remember that stuff. I remember like sitting there going like, what's a La La Land? Being the person that doesn't get metaphors. Like, I don't get that. I'm not there. I'm here. I'm sitting in the fucking room looking at you. I just don't know what you're talking about. Because I was too scared to ask questions. This is advice for a teacher. There are certain kids in the group that do want to know things, but they're too scared to ask. I was too afraid. I remember in kindergarten, I was so scared to ask to go to the bathroom that I pissed my pants. I didn't piss my pants on accident. I was too scared to ask, hey, can I use the bathroom? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was that scared. And the bathroom was in that classroom. Like, in the other side of the classroom, there was a door and there was a bathroom. I was still too scared. I'm like, I can't let people see me. I can't acknowledge. I don't want no one looking at me. Always felt that way. That's why if someone, when they don't comment in the video, that's what I meant when I was like, I get it. You know, it's scary. Because I was always like that. I was too scared to fucking voice anything. If I knew the answer, I would tell the kid next to me, this is the answer. You should take the credit. Say that. You know, if it was within my sphere of stuff I knew about, which was very obscure, you know, like are we talking about big band stuff, Glenn Miller? Or are we talking about silent movies? Are we talking about Civil War stuff? Like I knew that weird, had a weird niche. It never came in handy. Talking about Laurel and Hardy, you know what I mean? Or Buster Keaton. That never came in handy, knowing that stuff. Or I could tell you all about Star Wars, but we were talking about some other shit that I don't even know. So for me, it was always kind of off. And so that's this, all these examples are to say, I just blamed myself and thought I was the fucking idiot. Because what else would you think? When you're sitting there with that and being confused and you're always getting bad grades and everyone's like, I don't know why he's getting bad grades. I don't know what to do. I'm so confused what you guys want me to fucking do. Tell me what you fucking want and I'll try to do it. And it didn't make sense and I didn't want to waste my time. Devoting my mental energy to what? What? You know? We gotta learn this. Like, why? So I can have the job you want me to fucking have? I don't even know what that means. What is a job? Tell me the reason we have jobs in the first place. Not pick one. Like, I just thought that was so strange, as if I walked in the room knowing I need to get a job to commit to society. Like, who the fuck thinks like that? As a kid. Tell me what a fucking job is. Tell me why. Tell me what society is. Don't think I know shit. I always had that problem with teachers. Anyway, I grew up and graduated barely. Probably had a 1 point, I think it was like 1.6 GPA. Just fucking got by. Then I go out into the world and I'm just like, now what? Sat at home for a year. Got guilted into having to get a job because my parents couldn't afford to take care of me. I was like, okay. So I went and worked in McDonald's at 19 years old, 20. And ever since then, I've just been in these low frequency jobs surrounded by low frequency people. But it's only until now I'm realizing my actual worth, if you want to say that. Oh, I'm better than what I thought I was. And part of me is like, you're 34 years old and your body's already fucking shot. It's a little late to try to do that right now. What do you think, you're going to be a scholar? And I'm like, well, I don't really want to be a scholar. No, because then that requires me learning shit. I just want to, I want to be a yogi, you know, or I want to be a guru, or I want to be a shaman. I don't want money and shit. I want to sit in a cave and have all my books and fuck society. But I need people to take care of me because I'm not gonna fucking go out and hunt and shit. You know, like I have a really fucked up sense of what I want, and so that's kind of why I don't listen to it fully. Because there's a part of me, it's like, what I want? I want this ride to be over. You know, I don't want to fuck around with this shit anymore, pretending like it matters. I mean, you listen to me enough on the channel, and you're like, well, there's a candidate for suicide. But it's true. I mean, I wouldn't do that, but I wouldn't fight it if it was coming. It's just there's so little, you know. There's so little redeeming in what you're presented. I'll say, not in the whole world, but what I've been presented. There's so little making me want to say, yeah, that's worth living for. You know, it's out there. I just haven't found it yet. It's hard to just keep on going. You know, and I don't let these thoughts take me. Like right now, this is the first time I've talked about this since, well, I always talk about shit like this in my videos, but I haven't thought these words in this order before in a while, so somehow it's different because of that. It is pretty crazy when you look at the through lines of life and all the stuff that comes along. all the things that happen, things we do. But that's why I always idolize those people that had that singular focus. I had to get this job, so I had to do this, then I had to do that, and then here I am now. I make 90,000 a year or some shit. I don't know. I envy that. I'm like, hey man, count your blessings because there are some people out there that still don't know what the fuck to do. I'm amazed by people like that because I would always just shit. I could sit down in my living room and no TV, no nothing, just stare at the painting on the wall, look up at the ceiling, wonder what the hell should I do? What the fuck am I supposed to want to do something right now? Should I think something? Should I be something? I do that every fucking day. I get out of work, just sit there on the couch and just in silence stare at the wall. Just like, this is life? This is all real? This is substance. Am I supposed to want things? Seems like every time I try it, it's not really what I want, but what I imagine I would want. What does that mean? Am I not me? What am I? What do I want? To stop. How do I do that? So far, it seems like certain mythologies and certain religions would say obtaining and reaching the point of coming face to face with God. And when you finally meet him, it's over. Like, oh, well, that's what I want. So I have to learn how I need to learn so I can get the fuck out of here. It's kind of the takeaway that I've had. You know? That's why I was like, I don't want to be a writer. I don't want to be a fucking movie maker, musician, comedian. And you know what? I know I could be very good at all those things if I fucking tried. I don't mean to sound like I'm boasting, but I know I'd be very good at all that if I fucking tried. But I don't want those things. I just want to leave. I just want to get out of this shit. It's like we're all playing a video game and everyone's like, "Did you try this DLC? You know, did you look over here? There's an Easter egg here, or like this fucking map is awesome, but I found there's another map, and everyone's talking about that, and I'm just like, I just want to turn the game off. I'm done. I don't want to play anymore. I want to participate. As little as I have been participating, I don't want to participate. That's not the kind of work that I want to do with my life. But as you know, as well as I know, that's I can't just sit here. If I sit like this, my electricity will eventually go out. I didn't pay it. Someone will come because this is my home, but I have a mortgage, so someone will steal it from me. And then I can't do that. Then all my stuff, I'm not going to move it. Well, then it gets thrown away or stolen from me in some way, shape, or form. So, and so it's like, well, I can't do that. There's not really much I can do besides participate, play. I don't have to be good. It's like in video games. I'll play it on easy mode. But don't you want the challenge? Isn't it fun having a challenge? I'm like, no. Easy mode's fun. Just play in easy mode. So that's kind of what I'm doing with life. It's like I'm participating as much as I have to. I'm paying my taxes. I'm paying the mortgage. I'm going to work and collecting money because it's the only way I can survive in this world. Well, that's what I'll do. Let's do that shit. And then when I'm not doing that, I can enjoy sitting and looking at the wall and occasionally working on the mythology. That's what we'll do. Oh man, we've been going for 48 minutes. There you go. That's I'm exhausted, so that's all I can spit. Here's the funny thing, the more tired I am, the more honest I get about stuff. And then I'm like, now I can't hide that I feel these ways because I said it. But anyway, that's that. I thought I heard a train. No trains around here. Maybe there is a train around here. That's that, and I shall be off on to the next one.